Hey friends, Gary here. In today's video, I want to share one photography technique that tremendously improves my photography skill, especially my composition skill. And that technique is called pre-visualization. In today's video, I will share all about the ins and outs of pre-visualization, the benefits of pre-visualization, how to do it, so hopefully you can learn from this video and also improve your own photography skill. Let's go! So now let's quickly talk about what is pre-visualization. Pre-visualization is basically imagining the picture that you want to take inside your head before you even capture that particular photo with your camera. And the keyword here is imagining. So there are many ways to understand what pre-visualization is. First, you can think of it as sort of a mindfulness practice, being more intentional with how you capture the picture so you can focus more on this particular shot and get better photos as a result. However, you can also think of pre-visualization as sort of a little exercise to improve your photography skill in a form of little restrictions that help you to become more aware of what you shot. Now, why do we need to do pre-visualization? And the answer is because there are plenty of benefits of doing pre-visualization. First, I think pre-visualization makes photography more fun and enjoyable. You have to put a little bit more effort to taking pictures rather than your usual approach of just seeing some cool things and capture it right away. Now you have to think first before you take the shot, and I think by doing that you'll become more immersed in the process of taking pictures, and this will become a joyful process. Another reason why it is fun to do pre-visualization, it's almost like a dream come true. You're imagining something, and when you're able to take a picture that looks very close to what you have in your mind, then it'll feel so satisfying. That will also add into the enjoyment factor of doing photography. Pre-visualization will also improve your photography skill. You learn what you like, what you don't like, your own preference. You start to understand what works in a composition, what doesn't work, so you'll be able to improve both your composition and also your storytelling by doing pre-visualization. Pre-visualization also makes you more efficient when you're doing photography. You'll end up with less unused shots when you get back from the location, so you don't get overwhelmed with the numbers of pictures that you need to get through in order to find your keeper shots. Now let's talk about how to do pre-visualization. And before we start talking about the process of doing pre-visualization, I just want to emphasize that gear doesn't matter. You can use any camera, any lens that you have, it doesn't matter at all. You want to use micro four thirds camera and lenses, it's fine, go ahead. You want to use full frame camera and lens, it's fine, go ahead. Whatever's comfortable for you. With that out of the way, first step is to familiarize yourself with just one single focal length for a few days or even a few weeks. If you choose to use a prime lens, then that lens will only have one single focal length. Problem solved. But if you are using a zoom lens, no need to worry. You can just zoom into one particular focal length. Don't move it and treat it like a prime lens for a few days or a few weeks. Next step is to go out and take as many pictures as you can. Practice for these few days or few weeks to familiarize yourself with that particular focal length. After a few days or few weeks of intense practicing with that particular focal length, I'm quite sure that by now you've already familiarize yourself with that particular focal length, and now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty detail of doing pre-visualization. Now, to check if you've already mastered the focal length, the easy way to do it is to look into a particular scenery and then imagine that scenery being captured using your preferred focal length. So how wide or how tight will the scenery be captured? How much from the whole scenery will be able to fit into that particular focal length. You can do the rectangle hand thing to help you with composition, but you want to take notes of where the borders are, the limits, the peripheral of the focal lengths that you use for pre-visualization. Now that you've imagined the focal lengths using your head and try to compose using your hands or just by looking directly at it, now it's time to capture it with your camera and your preferred focal lengths, and then you want to compare the result captured using your camera and from the one that you imagine. How close are they? If both the picture that you captured and the one that you imagine in your head look very similar, then congratulations, you already mastered pre-visualization using that particular focal length. Now it's time to improve on the concept even further. Now at this point, it is a good idea to start noticing things. What works with this focal length? What doesn't work with this focal length? What is considered too wide with this focal length? What is considered too tight with this focal length? When you know that, next time you encounter a scenery that you want to capture using this focal length, you already know, oh, it's going to work because this is just the right amount of focal length. Or maybe you know, oh, it's too wide, I should use another lens. Or you already know, oh, it's too tight, it's not possible to capture it using this focal length. I want you to be able to master this kind of sense. Now that you've mastered one particular focal length and be able to pre-visualize with that focal length, some things that you can do now to level it up even further. Maybe you can learn another focal length and try to master it to the point where you're able to pre-visualize. I think it's a good idea to have a set of focal lengths that you really master so that you have different options when you are doing composition in photography. Another good option is to try to learn about lighting. Try to imagine that particular scenery with different kinds of lightings. Maybe you're capturing it now in the sunrise. What will happen if you capture it during sunset? How will the light hits the objects in the scenery and makes it tell a different story, that kind of stuff. I think that will be a good exercise for storytelling. And to do that, you can either scout the location, learn more about it, or you can use Google Map if you're not in that location to learn more about where the position of the sun is, where the sun will rise, where the sun will set, and try to imagine it. The key takeaway point here is imagination and also experimentation. There's no right or wrong, but this is just a matter of trying to find what works for yourself. And that wraps up today's video about pre-visualization. Hopefully you can learn from this video and be able to improve your own photography skill and also to better enjoy the whole photography process and have more fun when you're capturing photos. Anyway, if you want to learn more from me about photography techniques, about storytelling, composition, gear, all that kind of beautiful stuff, I have a mini course ebook called Simplifying Travel Photography that you can check out on the link right here or with the QR code right here, where you will learn from my experience doing travel photography for more than 13 years. And yeah, you can learn all sorts of things besides pre-visualization that I think will help you to improve your photography skill. Again, the link will also be provided on the description below. Anyway, I want to learn more from you guys. What is one photography technique that is really important for you guys? Let's share on the comment down below and have a little bit of discussion so we can learn from one another. Also, if you have any question, please comment on this video as well. I will try my best to answer them. Also, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below, or if you want to support my work even further, consider using the affiliate links on the description below. Use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel, or again, purchase my travel photography course ebook, Simplifying Travel Photography, with the link on the description below. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.